This is your place for all things Grand Rapids Griffins and all things Toledo Walleye. This is the Hockeytown West podcast with your hosts, Brandon Cook, Nick Harrington, and Travis Foch.
Well, the Grand Rapids Griffins head into the AHL All-Star break with a record of 35-7-2-1. Not bad. Can't complain about that. A winning percentage of .811 with a goals scored of 156 and 88 against. And oh boy, do we have some fun games to talk about, because I'm pretty sure our team penalty minute totals went up about like 200 this week, it feels like almost. So we've got a ton of action to talk about. It dates all the way back to Tuesday. We're excited to be back. Happy Super Bowl Monday to everybody. We hope the team you wanted to win won. And if your team lost, well, deal with it. They were in the Super Bowl, at least. I'm wearing Lions gear today just to make myself feel something about this day, I guess, at least to kind of hope and pray that next year I'm watching the Lions. But Nick, man, how are you? I know Super Bowl Sunday, the day we're recording this, is like your favorite holiday, I think, over any other holiday. How are you doing today?
Yeah, it's like my Christmas. It's this, I don't know why, but it's just
He puts the tree up and everything.
Yeah, this is the only day I put up the tree. It's I don't know why. I don't know when this started, but actually I know when it started. But it's just a big day of food, and usually I have people over, but today I'm just gonna spend it alone. Maria's gotta work, so looking forward to the game. Who are you rooting for? Are you rooting for anybody? Do you want somebody to win?
I am rooting for Seattle, so we'll see what that comes back and bites me in the actual day it's recorded. We'll see, but I'm not ready for New England to start again. Like, I'm just not ready. So I'm rooting for Seattle.
You didn't want to put it on air, huh? You didn't want it recorded, who you wanted.
I mean, it's probably going to come back and bite me, but who knows? I think it's going to be a good game. I just think Seattle's defense is ridiculous. So we'll see. But all those words I just said could mean nothing, because this is going to come out the day after it. So who knows?
That's fair. I'm hoping Seattle. I said in the ad that I thought we were all rooting for Seattle, but Trav might be a root for New England.
He seems like a New England guy.
Yeah. It'll be good either out. Sam Darnold.
Most old people are rooting for New England, so it makes sense for Travis.
It's kind of cool that they're coming back, right? Like, as a kid, I hated the Patriots.
It's
like,
not cool. I hated them too. Like, I'm a Michigan guy, so obviously like Brady and all that stuff, but like Brady wasn't Brady at Michigan. So there was no like, oh my God, it's Tom Brady back in the day. But now at the same time, like, I'm just not ready to see New England go start another dynasty. Like, we haven't had our chance even. So like, settle down. But I'm more curious just to see how the game's going to go. Is it going to be high scoring, low scoring? I mean, is Sam Darnold going to see ghosts? Who knows? And excited for what the halftime show looked like. It should be cool, and it's going to be a fun game overall. But either way, I'm more excited for the food, just like you.
Yeah.
It's the best part of Super Bowl Sunday. So it's weird not having the smoker fired up myself today to enjoy some food. I usually do the same thing every year, but hey, we'll take what we get. I don't have to prepare anything, which is great since we're hitting the road today for Rockford and to the All-Star game. Super excited about that. Stay tuned for all sorts of All-Star coverage from us this week. And if you're wondering where to find that yet, make sure you're following us on all the social media pages at Hockeytown WPod. And for any YouTube videos that come up, make sure you're subscribed and ready for those too. And if you're waiting for more podcast episodes, I don't know what the schedule will look like this week. Don't know if we'll get weird and do something while we're down there or whatever. So just stay tuned. You might see some stuff. I don't know if we'll have a Toledo episode this week unless Travis finds a recording partner for it, because I doubt we'll have time in Rockford to step on and record one. So, and we don't do episodes with just ourselves. So
I almost did. One today.
Okay, I know. I overslept today. I'm sorry. I'm tired. There's a lot going on over here, all right?
You want chaos? A whole Nick episode by itself. I was.
I would post that unedited so fast, just to see what happens.
We'd be so canceled.
Oh, 1,000%. Just knowing you'd say something and be like,
somebody's gonna edit this.
Yeah, exactly.
Is that right?
Exactly. Anyways, let's jump into some news and updates around the Grand Rapids Griffins before we jump into these three games we're going to talk about. The first one was a big one. It was unexpected. Alex Kanek-Leipert got a contract extension. He's going to be back with the Grand Rapids Griffins next season, which, when we look at the big picture overall, it's great. We have another piece lined up, right? The guys that have contracts for next season already that were on 2-year deals, 3-year deals, whatever. You've seen Dominic Shine and Sheldon Dries get extended. And now you see another defensive piece coming back next year. But he's more than just a defensive piece. He's a leader. He's a fighter. He's a guy that stands up for his teammates, and he plays the defensive game very well. Is he going to go up and put up, 50 points in a season? No. But his role on the team is so important when he needs to step in and play his game. And I've really liked what I've seen from him this year. I posted a whole highlight package on our page from him this season that included his 1 goal and like the 7 fights that he's had. It was fun to put that together, but it's good to see AKL come.
Yeah, just another core piece, right? That Wadi's kind of putting together here. Started off the season very hot with the 8 assists in 8 games, and has cooled off since then. But it's just, he brings other things to the table. He's that veteran leadership. He's going to bring the rough and toughness as well for us. Give us a little bit of identity in the back, which is great. And I'm sure with him, he's just the security, right? He's going to be here again. He's already living here, so doesn't have to go out and look for another team. And he's already familiar with Wadi's system and everybody else here. So love the guy, having him back, and should be good.
I'm glad you said the security thing, because he mentioned that when in his interview with Bob Kaiser during the game last night. And he's like, it's nice to have that, out of the way. You have that security, where you're going to be playing next year. And at this level, that's a battle as you get into the end of the season. Like, you're going into a playoff run and you're still in your head going, I don't know where I'm playing next year. Like, it's nice to have that piece off his mind. He can focus on the game and come out and do his thing. And again, we're just really excited to have him back. Other news, we got some injury updates, which is not really a positive one. Carter Mazur is skating again. And I know we've talked so long this season about, what the injury is and what the updates are going to be. When are we going to hear an update? Hearing that he's skating is massive when you think that he hasn't played a game since October 24th. Like, we still know that, yes, he started skating. That doesn't mean he's going to be back in a week or 2 weeks or anything like that. It still could be a long road. A lot can happen in that time. The time frame of early to mid-March that we've been told a couple of times around the league seems to be adding up here. But just to hear that he's at least back on the ice is such a positive thing, because it's just one of those kids that he's been through so much, and you have to root for him. Like, we have to root for this guy. We want the best for him. We know what he's capable of, and he just gets these injuries that keep holding him back. And you think about where the Griffins are, and you get a guy like that back healthy in March. That's a late acquisition, the way I look at it, as you head into the deep part of the season and the playoffs.
Definitely going to be interesting when he does come back, of where he slots, where he's going to be. I'm excited. Just thinking about kind of some lineup configurations this morning. But that late time, late push. Did they say late March?
That's what we've heard. No one's officially said it. That's just the rumblings that we've heard. It again, we don't know. You don't
He's
ask
day to
for
day.
Injury updates. He's day to day, right? Yeah, no. It is what it is. And then on the other end of the injury front, John Leonard, we mentioned last week, he got injured in one of the games. He hasn't played at all this week, didn't play this weekend. And just right now, as we're recording, got the update that he will not be attending the AHL All-Star game. He's been replaced with Brent Seney from the Rockford Ice Hogs. It's unfortunate to see a Griffin fall out of that. It's not what you want to see, but if he's not ready to go, he's not ready to go. You're not going to push it for an all-star game. I'd rather him be ready to go in a week or two and be healthy than push it to go play in an all-star game.
Yeah, very. Thanks for the breaking news there. It's
You're welcome.
Yeah, we were wondering if we were going to hear something here soon. We actually talked about it pre-recording, but disappointed, right? He was disappointed not playing this week against Charlotte, his former team, and not to be going back-to-back All-Star game is disappointing as well. For us, it's disappointing. We're excited to have be able to cover as many Griffins as we had down there, and then you replace them with Brett Seedy. Man, what just not a guy that I am excited about. But I kind of talked with you last night about is they probably pull somebody from Rockford just because it's local. It's the host city, and unfortunate that we couldn't slip another Griffin in there. I know you were talking about trying to get MBN. I joked about Trailbacks.
That would have been who ideally I said we would replace him with, is MBN or Dries.
Yeah. Oh yeah, I forgot about Dries.
But when you look at the timing of everything, obviously the festivities kick off in a day. Like you start
Yeah.
Tuesday, like you said, it's someone local, easy to pull. And like, I'm not gonna lie, like Brent Sini's had a great season. Like there's other teammates on the Rockford Ice Hogs that made the All-Star game who are lower in points this season than Sini. Sini's leading the Rockford Ice Hogs with 35 points, 10 goals, and 25 assists in 41 games. If you look at on the Ice Hogs who deserves to be there, then he's a guy that deserves to be there 100%. It's the Rockford Ice Hogs, though, so that's about the only positive thing I'm gonna say. And I'm just sad that Lenny won't be there now. Unfortunate breaking news while we're recording, but hey, thank you, Griffins and AHL, for releasing it while we're recording, not right when we finished. So there we go. Moving on from that, that is all the news and updates around the team that we have right now. It's time to dive into some of these games, and we're going to go back in time all the way to Tuesday, basically a week ago from when this is getting released, and talk about this game in Milwaukee that we didn't really know what to expect going into it, right? The Griffins played the Chicago Wolves at home on Friday, laid an egg. They got smoked in that game. It wasn't a good time. You look at Saturday, they came back, massive response, massive win, a 5-2 win in Chicago. And you look at this game and go, Sebastian Cossa starting. Last time he was out, he let in 5 goals on 18 shots. What's he going to do in this one? Well, he's going to stop 24 of 26 in this one, and the Griffins get a massive 5-2 victory over Milwaukee in their barn. That's always a win to go into that arena and come out with a win. That's a tough place to play. Their fans are ruthless. They play a heavy style of hockey in that arena. But Sebastian Cossa in this game, we've talked so many times about this goaltender and his ability to bounce back from a poor performance. And here he is again showing that he might be one of the best in terms of bouncing back.
He's locked in this year. Like after watching these 3 games this weekend, I was like, we've talked all season. Is it the goaltending? Is it the defense? Is it like it kind of seems like it's a tug of war between the two, really. Is when the team is not doing well, the goaltending really steps up. And you'll see it's been a common theme throughout these 3 games. And then you get Coach, just outstanding in both games, bookmarked for the week of being great in both games here. So just I don't know if all 5 goals or the game prior that he played were all against were bad. I can't remember. It's that far back now. But
they weren't. I mean, a couple were, but they weren't. Like the team in front of him just didn't show up in that game. I remember Waddy specifically, mentioning a lot of that.
Just to come back, like the team, right? You don't want to lose a segment. You're already down, and they just kind of bounce right back. I get this. I mean, I love what Costa's been doing this year. It's consistent. I don't want to see he's had a bad performance prior and then bounce back. He's been consistently good.
Yeah, and I mean, even in a game where you allow 5 on 18, every goaltender's going to have a night where they go, oh God. But at the same time, was it entirely his fault? No. But to be able to come out and do this, what he's done this week, massive for him. And you look at how this game started. And it was already started in a weird place where Milwaukee came out in warmups in their cream-colored jerseys, and the Griffins were out there in their white jerseys, and the Milwaukee Admirals had to change. Their social admin said, blame the Griffins. I don't know if it's our fault or what. They ended up having to come back out in their red jerseys, which is one of my favorite jerseys that they have, actually. And not that their main jersey's bad. It's just the red one's a really cool, classic-looking jersey. But that was kind of a fun little bit to catch as the game started. And then you go in and look at the first goal of the game, and didn't know who was going to score it, but Andre Becker with a beautiful goal thanks to an incredible setup from Tyler Angle.
He's had such a good past this year. This year, from January to February, he's really picking up steam, and to him and Raklovsky. So I'm excited to continue to see their development and to continually getting better. I mean, it's just when you need that depth guy to score, when Lenny's out, you kind of look down and you're like, okay, well, we got Eddie, you got Trail Max who can do it, but you got to give some flowers to Andre Becker, really putting it on. And I'm waiting. I was watching him to this morning. I'm like, maybe next year might be his big coming out party.
This year feels like a coming out party in itself. So if he can continue, when you look at a prospect, right, and he's not your top draft pick prospect, he's lower draft pick. You don't know what to expect from him, but you're seeing growth game after game. And that's exactly what you want to see from a prospect. If they continue to grow and develop and they don't stall out, you've got something in the works at least. Is he going to be a NHL player at some point in time? I would say so. I think he has the ceiling is an NHL player. Who is it with and when is it? I don't know. But at the same time, Andre Becker could turn into an NHL player, which I don't think a lot of people saw that coming. And I'm really just impressed with his growth this season. And I love to see what he's doing. And I can't wait to see what it turns into as this season goes on. Like, what's playoff Andre Becker look like? Does he find another gear this season? Who knows?
I hope so. Can you just imagine like a game 5 winner take all, Becker scores, and everybody's gonna be like, "Who is this guy?" And I'm like, "We've been talking about him all year. Like this guy, he's a dude."
Yeah, exactly. Next goal in the game, Eddie Trailmax, as you just mentioned him a second ago. A big old rebound off Magnus Krona. Eddie picks it up and puts it behind him. A nice goal there. Next goal, Austin Watson, short-handed. An absolutely incredible pass from Nate Danielson behind the Milwaukee net, which, again, we're short-handed, and Nate gets behind the Milwaukee net with the puck, and Waddy's open out near the slot and buries it, which when you look at like how some of these games have gone for Austin Watson, this was such a nice thing to see from him because he had a goal in that last game in Chicago, comes back and scores again in this game.
His stock for me was rising, and this was a beautiful goal from him. Just sniped it, right in between the two face-off circles, and he just snipes this in, and I'm like, all right, Waddy's back. Like, we're going to see the Austin Watson of last year, scoring goals, punching guys in the face. Like, I'm here for it. And then as the week went on, his stock dripped a little bit for me.
Yeah, we'll talk about that as this week goes on for sure. Next goal, you look at Tyler Angle. Magnus Krona loses track of the puck. It's behind the net. He thinks it's continuing to go past him to his right side. Angle picks it up, comes back up, and the easiest kind of tap in, almost wrap around like goal. Just Krona had no clue where the puck was. And at this point, all of a sudden, Angle has 2 points in this game when he was healthy scratched the game before. And I know we talked about that in last week's episode, but to see that response after you're healthy scratched, huge positive sign to see that Tyler Angle still got it. He's just been going through a rough stretch. Take a game off the ice, watch it from above, understand it a little better, come back out, put up a 2-point night.
Hey, that's all you could ask for. The team's doing the same thing, right? You lose a game, you come back, you respond, right? And so you love to see it. Watson also got an assist on this, so you're collecting more points, right? So
they took his assist back. His assist was on the sheet the night we recorded this game and watched this game. The stat sheet has been updated since then, and the only assist on it is Gabriel Seeger, unfortunately, which if I remember the play, Austin Watson should have an assist on it, but maybe someone got a stick on it between those two. Sucks because I definitely posted that Austin Watson and Tyler Angle had 2-point nights, but yeah, they took away a point from Waddy, which is BS.
Yeah, that's where I was gathering that from.
Yep, I know. I just noticed it as you were saying it. I'm like, wait a second, where is his assist? Oh, they took it away.
But good for Seeger, right? Get some points on the board. A guy that is really known for his face-offs, and he gets involved here. So being on the fourth line hasn't deterred him.
Yeah, exactly. So after that goal, the chaos began in this game. MBN starts off the chaos. He annihilates Daniel Carr, which Daniel Carr is a player I never anticipated I'd say his name this much this season, but every game between Milwaukee and Grand Rapids, there's some storyline to talk about Carr, whether it's Cossa shutting him down on 6 breakaways, or him coming back and scoring 2 goals in that next game, or him scoring a goal in the next game. This game, he gets absolutely labeled by MBN. Clean hit, beautiful hit, well-timed, like all of a sudden you're watching the play and boom, there's MBN and he destroys them. Milwaukee did not like that. And that's where the pettiness and the chippiness started. It's unfortunate. When you look at that too, like a following play, MBN goes for a hit, hits the guy. It's not a big hit or anything, but he hits the guy. The guy doesn't like it, slashes him. MBN draws a penalty. And you're like, oh, look at this. You're under Milwaukee's skin. MBN has done his job of being kind of a rat and you're happy about it. You fast forward a little bit into the second period here. This is right near the end. AKL takes a big hit in front of the Griffins bench. Right as Amadeus Lombardi kind of turns the puck over on the Griffins blue line, Fedor Svechkov goes the other way. Instead of chasing the puck, AKL follows the guy that hits him and gets another hit in. I thought we were about to see a fight, which I wish he would have dropped him there because then the next thing wouldn't have happened as Svechkov just takes the puck all the way down the ice and scores to get Milwaukee at least a goal in this game. But that whole sequence, I didn't like it. You don't like the turnover. You don't like AKL getting distracted and going after the other guy. Svechkov, it's his first goal of the season with Milwaukee. He was just returned from Nashville. Like, you just don't give a guy like that the time and space to go do what he did. But again, we won 5-2. But again, you just don't like the play.
Yeah, and Feder, he's a good player. Since he's been back, he's been on a hot streak too from Nashville, from what I remember Bob saying.
We've talked a lot about him in past seasons. A lot about him. He is a really, really talented player. But yeah, again, just don't like the play.
Yeah.
And that was with like 27 seconds left in the period. This is where all hell broke loose. Justin Holl gets hit in the corner by Moreno. He doesn't like it. It looks like Moreno kind of sucker punches him a little bit. I've never seen Justin Holl get this hot, which if you remember, I was talking about Gus. Like all of a sudden Gus had his wires crossed for a few weeks and it was just like, what is going on? Like, I've never seen Gus this feisty, but it's also not distracting him from his game. He's playing his game still, but he's out here standing up for teammates. He's ready to fight the next guy that looks at him. And all of a sudden here's Justin Holl doing the same thing after this hit. A lot of words were exchanged. Nothing really came from that scrum. It all came on the following face-off. Griffins win the draw. Milwaukee immediately goes to hit Justin Holl again along the Milwaukee bench, and this turns into a, I don't want to say line brawl, because it wasn't a brawl, but it was a line scrum that all of a sudden we're looking at it, and Gabriel Seeger's off in the corner fighting England. I think Tyler Angle had his gloves off with somebody else, and all of a sudden, here's Sebastian Cossa trying to pull a guy off of a Griffins player. And of course, when a goalie does that, the other goalie is going to come in and jump in. And here's Magnus Krona jumping in, trying to get in the mix. I'm like, the goalies are going to go. The goalies are going to go. Sebastian Cossa and Magnus Krona are going to fight. What is going to happen here? Well, they didn't fight. Krona gets pulled out of the scrum, and Kossa's still in it. His mask gets twisted and pulled on. And I'm like, okay, as soon as that happened, Kossa's fighting that guy. Like, I didn't like that. You don't touch the goalie's mask. You just don't. There's a rule. It's an unwritten rule. You don't touch his mask. But holy smokes, what an electric end of the period.
There's 4 seconds, 20 seconds left or 4 seconds left in this. I walk away. I literally walk away because I'm like, all right, they're just going to finish. This is a face-off. It's just going to go to the corner or whatever. It's just going to be done. And I hear Bob yelling. And I'm like, what the heck is going on? There's 4 seconds. What could have possibly happened? I had to go back because by the time I got back upstairs, like, the entire period had ended. The penalties had been, called or whatever. And so and I'm watching it back and I'm just like, Magna going in, like, this is crazy. I think was Laggy out there too. He's just getting pummeled in the corner.
Was like ready to kill somebody.
Like, I'm just like, what the heck is this chaos? Probably the most controversial part of the entire, this play, this scrum, this line brawl, some may have called it, has sparked so much controversy throughout the week. Just a funny situation. And then Magna's girlfriend post on TikTok.
Oh my God.
You're not going to embarrass me again. This is how you fight. They're being funny about it. But that was just I was dying when she posted that.
If you don't follow Magnus Krona's fiance on TikTok, it's top tier, like, wife and girlfriend content of a hockey player. She's fantastic. They're hilarious. She calls him her roommate half the time. Like, they're funny. I love them. I love his personality. I love to see that side, and her response with that. She did like 3 or 4 videos on it. She voiced over the fight actually too later on. Because she was in the stands and she's like, I went to the family room because of the situation. And by that time, the Griffins had a commanding lead. So she was blaming herself for being there. And that's why the goals were going in. So she's in like the Milwaukee family room as this all happens. And she's just like, what? But yes, gave him some fighting lessons afterwards. That was hilarious. Good on her. As soon as I saw the whole scrum happen, I was like, I can't wait to see her post about this. Honestly, that was my first thought after I got everything posted. I'm like, I wonder, is it already there? But no, good on her. Funny hockey couple. Love it. Love the off-ice stuff. But that resulted in 88 penalty minutes at the end of the period. You had, I think, 6 misconducts total. Both the goalies got called for leaving the crease. It was, chaos. And you go into the third and you're like, is this going to carry over? Is this third period about to be just a nut house out here? No, nothing carries over. There's not a fight off the drop of the puck or anything. The Griffins have the power play to start the third period. In 22 seconds into the period, Sheldon Dries adds the dagger on the power play. And you're just like, all right, if there was going to be a fight, that fight's off now. The Griffins have a 5-1 lead. Here we go. This is all this period's going to be. But there was one more piece to talk about in this period. Zach LaRue adds a goal, which, I hate to say that. MBN with maybe his most brutal turnover of the season. He's behind the Griffins' goal line, throws the puck out in the center, and it goes right to LaRue. Like, you can't give that guy that time and space.
This freaking guy. We could Nashville just take him like permanently.
Please?
Yeah.
Or trade him?
Trade him? Yeah, do something. like what are we doing here? It's just 3 goals now, right? Against us in 3 games. It's just terrible to see. And it sucks too, like MBN, like turnover, just not being able to get the puck out. I see what he was trying to do, and Zach's just in a great spot, be able to pick it up and fire it. But yeah, it was disappointing to see, like, you thought, like, this game, like, all right, we've got some energy here, right? We gotta fight. Is it gonna carry over to the third? At that point, I think I had sent you guys, the Griffins had like 400 penalty minutes by that time of the season, and they had 88 or 50 in that one period. A huge jump in the penalty minutes on that side. But it was just disappointing that there's no carryover, no fight, it was just like, hey, we got it out of our system, and now we're ready to play hockey again.
Yeah, it's wild when you look at the stat sheet and you see all that, and you're like, there was not a penalty call in the third on either side. No penalties. Like, all that happened, they got it out of their system, and nothing was called. And I will say, with like how chaotic this game was, good officiating. They did a good job in this game. They let things go and let players play, but at the same time called what needed to be called. And obviously with a scrum like that at the end of the period, you've got to call everything just to like establish, hey, we're not going to let this game get out of hand. We're going to put half of each team in the penalty box basically to start the third period with these 10-minute misconducts. And no one got ejected for it. Like, they called the game well. So credit to the officiating crew there. I do love to see that. And it's just one of those games where it's a great rivalry. You let it happen. The result was great. I think even if we had lost this game, I'd still say, if it was a close game, you're like, yeah, this was a good game, another battle with Milwaukee. We're playing this team 12 times this season. Every game has been a battle. It's had playoff-like intensity, and this game had it too, even with the lopsided scoreboard. The Griffins did get outshot in this one. The power play went 1 for 4. The penalty kill was a perfect 3 for 3. Sebastian Cossa's bounce back was great. And the Griffins at that point moved to 17-1-1-1 on the road this season. That's an insane record right there.
Crazy. Like, it's like what's going on at home?
Yeah, that's something we'll have to talk about at some point. Because, like, if you can play like that on the road, you can play like that at home. Come on. But it's like they walk into other teams' barns. They're like, let's ruin everybody in this building's night. That's what we're here to do. We're here to just FS up and go. And that's what they do. It's fun. But enough of that game. We had an in-depth breakdown of that one because so much happened and there was so much fun in this game. We're going to hit a quick ad break. When we come back, we got 2 more games to talk about, our 3 stars of the week, and an AHL standings update.
Super Bowl 60 deserves a sportsbook built for the moment. DraftKings Sportsbook, an official sports betting partner of Super Bowl 60, puts you right in the center of the biggest game of the year. Anything can happen during the Super Bowl, and DraftKings has your back with early exit. If your player goes down in the first half, you can still get paid in cash when your bet settles. No bonus bets, no waiting. While other sportsbooks don't offer injury protection, DraftKings covers the entire first half, even the second quarter. And early exit works on live bets too. Pre-game or in-game, DraftKings has you covered. We've got the Super Bowl coming up. Seattle Seahawks versus the New England Patriots. Going to be exciting. I don't know if you've been following the Seahawks this year, but I think they are the favorite. At least with the guys here at Hockeytown West, they are. New to DraftKings, new customers can bet just $5 and get $300 in bonus bets if your bet wins. Download the DraftKings Sportsbook app now and use code THPN. That's code THPN to turn $5 into $300 in bonus bets if your bet wins. In partnership with DraftKings, the crowd is yours. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. New York, call 8778-HOPE-NY or text HOPE-NY. Connecticut, call 888-789-7777 or visit ccpg.org. On behalf of Blue Hill Casino in Kansas, wager tax pass-through may apply in Illinois. 21 plus in most states. Void in Ontario. Restrictions apply. Bet must win. To receive bonus bets which expire in 7 days, minimum odds required. For additional terms and responsible gaming resources, see dkng.co/audio. Limited time offer.
And welcome back. All right. We've got a game in Charlotte on a Friday night to talk about here. And if you tried to watch this game on Flow Sports, I'm sorry, but I hope everyone saw the post that they were streaming it for free on YouTube because Flow Sports took a crap. And at least they figured out a way to get it out there to people still. I will give them some credit there to just openly stream them for free on YouTube, which was really nice. But unfortunately for Griffins fans, this wasn't one they wanted to probably watch based on the result. But before we even talk about that, this is the Griffins' first trip to Charlotte since 2016. That's insane to think about that it's been that long. And it just goes back to the AHL needs to figure out a way to get teams to play outside the division a little more. It shouldn't have taken us this many years to get back to Charlotte. That's just unrealistic to have. Like, you have fans down there. There was people who were like, I get to see my team play finally. Like, come on. And it's a cool place. It's a cool arena. I like it. I liked the vibe of it. I like the fans. They seemed really into the game, and you just want to reward teams like that with fan bases with more teams instead of just seeing them play a team in their division 12 times.
Yeah, the stadium looks kind of cool from what they were showing.
Yeah.
They had like the walkout between the fans, so I'm not sure how that's set up. Like, I want to know more about that. But the one thing I noticed was a lot of people were eating chicken.
What is it? The Bojangles Coliseum.
I'm
Which
excited to be able to
half
try.
of us in West Michigan were like, what's a Bojangles years ago? But now we know we have one, but no free ads. Moving on from that, this game, look, the Griffins lost 3-0. They get shut out, and we're going to start with the storyline of the game. Cooper Black, the goaltender for Charlotte. We talked about him when Charlotte was in town last time. This kid, there's something about this goalie in the Grand Rapids Griffins. Because I think after this game, the stat line was he stopped 67 of 68 shots faced this season with the Griffins. Look, this kid, he's a massive human being. He's 6'9", takes up so much the net. He's incredibly talented. You'd think the Griffins practicing against the mutant in Sebastian Cossa all the time would help him get around a tall goaltender. But at the same time, for some reason, this kid, when he's playing against us, he's lights out. And I'll give him a lot of credit when you're talking about this game. Because, like, you look overall in the league, like, he's not, like, the best goaltender. He's 8th in goals against right now. And in save percentage, he's not even in the top 20. Like, he's not a top goalie in the league. But for some reason against Grand Rapids, he knows how to shut us down.
Yeah, I mean, only 27 shots that night against just played fantastic. A lot of our shots too, though, looking at the shot chart, is from far away is where we really had it. I mean, if you look at even the score sheet, Shy had 5 shots, 2-0 had 5 shots. Those were our leading shot takers. Like, you had ammo at 4. So a lot of these shots would come from the point. This game was terrible. Like, I'm glad, not glad, but I was nervous with Flo going down because I was covering the game that night. So if anything could go wrong, it was going to be on a night that I'm covering the team. is how I felt.
Of course. I saw this like Flow Sports going down, the team's getting shut out, and I'm like, this is the recipe for Nick covering a game.
And they scored 3
willingly.
Like, yeah, and they scored 3 so quick on us, and I'm just like, oh boy, like, here's the floodgates. Like, this is not going to be fun. I may need Brandon here in a minute.
All 3 goals within a minute and 27 in the second period. Like, it's just one of those moments where you have a lapse and then it all just goes down right there. Because, I mean, you look at this result and go, oh my God, you guys lost 3-0. Postava must have had a bad night. He stopped 33 of 36 shots faced. He had a great night. Postava played very well in net. He gave the team a chance to win. There was just 0 goal support whatsoever.
Well, obviously they didn't score.
Exactly.
But like, that first goal, like, Hall gets beat on the outside and then they just pull it back and get him on Postava. So, I mean, it's just, what can you do, right? The second one, Waddy thought it was offsides. I have to go back to replay it.
So I watched it. It was offsides. It was very offsides, which sucks because you're like, okay, you get the second one. They were picking up momentum there to get that third one. If that wouldn't have happened, does the game end differently? Is it just a 1-0 game? Do the Griffins find a way to get one in there? I don't know, but that goal, yes, it was offsides. Offsides review needs to happen in the American League. We've seen too many examples of it this season and last season. It needs to be a thing. I will call for that all day, and I know equipment and cameras is expensive and da-da-da-da-da. The AHL's got to figure it out. Like, if the ECHL could figure out how to get cameras inside the nets during a regular season, The AHL can figure out how to get offsides review cameras set up. Like, it's not that hard. And this is the second tier of pro hockey in North America. You've got to figure it out because you can't have stuff like that happening. It's you got video coaches developing to get to the next level. They should be experiencing the same thing they're going to experience in the NHL. That's the way I look at it.
Yeah, I'm hoping that we have more camera angles coming out here in the near future for flow. I know the OHL does a great job when they did the OHL hockey. Like, they had great camera angles being able to show. And so, yeah, hopefully we have it coming. I know Bob went on a rant about it the other night of just keeping things consistent. I do have to correct myself. So I was thinking of a different goal for the Charlotte first goal. It was not Hull getting beat. They just got beat in the corners. They couldn't get it, and Charlotte dug it out, and it found their guy right at the blue line. And that, I can't remember the defenseman's name on it, but he's been playing very well too.
Yeah, I mean, Charlotte, when you look at it, they're a good team. They're one of the top teams in the league too, along with the Griffins. We knew when they came into Grand Rapids earlier in the season that was kind of a measuring stick, even though coach didn't want to say that terminology with it. It was a measuring stick. It's the first time you're seeing a team outside your division like this and outside your conference. Like, this is your shot at the East here. You play Cleveland and Charlotte. Those are the only two teams in the East you were playing this year. Oh, sorry, Toronto too. My bad. Forgot about Toronto there. Easy to forget about.
Yeah.
It just sucks that that's the result, especially when you look at that second goal being offsides and you're like, oh my God. The other thing to pull from the stat sheet before we move on from this game, because really, again, there's not a ton. I've got 2 more points to hit. 0 for 5 in the power play, 5 for 5 in the PK. That's good. When you look at the 3 games by now that we've played against Charlotte, neither team had scored a power play goal. It's such a weird stat to pull out. I appreciate Bob sharing that one, but the fact that we went 0 for 5 in a game like this, you're like, man, if you could have gotten 1, was that the spark needed to go? Neither team was scoring on the power play in this series.
They're both really good, top 5-10 in the league for both power play and penalty kill. So to see that, I'm not super surprised. A little disappointed because GR has a really good power play on the road for whatever reason. So it's weird that they went this long without anybody scoring on the special teams.
Yeah, it is weird. I'll correct you on one thing. The Charlotte's power play is not in the top of the league, actually. They are all the way down in 25th on the power play when it comes to the league overall. But their penalty kill is 3rd. It's about 4 percentage points off of Grand Rapids right now, who's still leading the league. So not the best power play, but good for the penalty kill, shutting them down. But you just want the power play to come through and get something going, which we will talk about them finally breaking the ice in the next game. But the last piece in this game, Austin Watson, man, 24 penalty minutes in this one. You had him called for roughing. You had him a 10 for abuse of officials. Yeah, we've seen that call from him before. It's not a surprise to us. I would say don't abuse the officials, but at the same time, that goal was offsides, and this happened about 3 minutes after that goal. So I'm wondering if there was some pent up anger from it. But again, don't abuse your officials, Waddy. Come on. Later in the third period, 16-minute, 39-second mark, he gets a slashing call and then also gets an unsportsmanlike conduct, and he gets ejected from the game. When I saw that, I was like, oh my God, he's going to get suspended or something stupid. Thank God he didn't. But at the same time, we need Austin Watson to be Austin Watson, but not off the ice for 20 minutes of the game. Not that he was off the ice for 20 minutes of the game. It was a 16 penalties at the 16-minute mark. He missed 4 minutes of that period. But in total, like, Potty, come on, man.
Your team's already down 3-0. You're trying to get a spark. The refs aren't on your side tonight. Just that's one of those ones where you just walk away, right? You continually put your team in a bad position during that game, I felt. Because then who had to serve those penalties? I think it was Amadeus Lombardi on one, which you kind of need a spark. You need to be able to do something. And so that's kind of your guy to be able to provide that. And the other one was Edward Trailmax. Again, like you get two goal scorers in the box serving your penalty. Like this.
Well, there's some strategy behind that though too. You want those guys to come out of the box and get the puck and go, and that makes sense to put those guys in there for that. But at the same time, you just don't want to have to do it in general. It sucks, but again, we're not on the ice. We don't know what happened with it, so we can't speak to it entirely. But just chill a little bit, buddy. Chill.
The one thing I do want to bring up before we move on is Posty had an incredible game, though. Like, he had some crazy saves in this. He stopped a Michigan in the first period, does a crazy paddle save to save it again. Like, he kept this team in it the entire game. It was just like pure Dominic Hasek saves out there. Like, literally, just crazy amount of saves. I know Cossa kind of saw that as a challenge for the next night.
Oh, 100%. And like, yeah, the result is 3-0 loss. It sucks, but you can't blame Postava at all. He was sensational in this game. Without him, I mean, I can't say without him it would have been like 5-0, 6-0, because without him it would have been Sebastian Cossa and that. So you're like, okay, you don't want to say that about that. But let's say he's not in the picture and there's another goalie in there. Well, it might have been Carter Geilander, so he probably would have still performed well too. So I can't even use this analogy for this team because we have so many dang good goaltenders. But yes, Postava was incredible.
Goalies of the past, we probably would have folded a lot more. That's what I was thinking this weekend after watching the 2 games against Charlotte. Is our goaltenders in previous years, like when we started the show, it would have been done. Like,
like Victor Bradstrom was in net. It's probably like a 6-0 game. Is that what you're trying to get at?
Yeah. Well, it's
or one of the 8 goalies from that season, you know?
Yeah.
Nope, good call. Moving on to Saturday's game, which is, you look at this and you're like, how do you bounce back from that? What's the response going to be? You look at one end of the ice and Cooper Black's not in net and you go, oh, thank God. But last time we said that about a game against Charlotte, the other goaltender that stepped in was really good too. And we only won that game by 1, I believe, in overtime or a shootout. I can't remember off the top of my head. The Griffins had an offensive outburst in this one, which is really nice to see, but it wasn't in the terms of shots. They only had 21 shots on goal, but they win the game 5-2. Charlotte at the other end had 40 shots on net against Sebastian Cossa, who stood on his head and robbed them left and right in this game. The Griffins had amazing goaltending this weekend between Postava and Cossa. The one play I want to talk about with Cossa is he makes this insane skate save, which I don't know how he got a skate blade on this. Didn't lose the blade like that one game against Cleveland, too, which was nice to see. But follow that up with 45 seconds later, the puck sneaks past him, and he has the awareness level of 100 in NHL 26, turns back and pulls that puck off the goal line with his stick, saves that goal. Holy smokes, what a play. What a game from Cossa. But there was some controversy in this game, too, that the Charlotte fans, if I'm them, I'm pissed. Because Sebastian Cossa makes a stop while he's standing. The puck's up in his chest. The ref blows the whistle right away. Like, it was a very, very, very quick whistle. But Cossa dropped that puck. Charlotte picked it up, put it in the net. But the whistle had already gone. So they called the right play. But holy smokes, was that a quick whistle.
Yeah, I didn't see this. I didn't see the skate save, but I did see the where that puck was so close to going in. He uses the paddle.
It was on the line, man.
I'm like, no, I'm literally, because I wasn't able to watch this game live because it started so early yesterday. So I was watching it again this morning before we recorded. And like, I was just getting you and Elaine's. I don't think Travis would cover this game. I don't think he's watching this one.
No, he was at the BG game and covering the walleye, so he was useless in this one.
So between your guys' texts, I'm like, I don't know what's going on. I don't know if we're down 6-0. I don't know if we're up 6-0. I have no idea what's going on. So I'm just reading your guys' text, and you're like, this crazy save, and then this, and then saving a goal, and then so I'm watching it live, and I'm just like, holy Jesus! Like, this is a crazy save. Like, I just can't believe anybody from Charlotte wasn't able to like crash the net, get there, get a stick on it, anything like that to be able to look at this. That is the closest goal that I've ever seen. That was not a goal. And then he turns around and that quick whistle saves our butt because this was in the third period, correct?
Yes, it was in the third period. And that was right after Cossa made another incredible save too, where he was going left to right on his net or on his crease. And you have that, and then this happens. And, oh man, Charlotte fans not happy.
The third period, the first 12 minutes of the period, we don't have a shot on net. We're getting absolutely hemmed into our zone. And Cossa, and this is where I was like, I think it's the tug of war, because between the defense and the goaltending, like, and the forwards for the team, like, it's just a back and forth. And this is where Cossa really had to stand on his head and make all these crazy saves. Like, if they would have broke through with that goal, I think the game would have changed. I definitely think that the game would have changed, because this game was not as a blowout as it looks on the score. Like, this entire game felt like a playoff game. This entire weekend between the two felt like a playoff game. This was a very
this whole week felt like a playoff week.
Yeah, I mean, can we say, like, does that how it lines up in the playoff tree? Is like we beat Milwaukee to then go to the division winner over there?
No, so they're in the Eastern Conference. So this would be
So we
a
do the
finals
finals.
matchup,
I mean,
which I'm not opposed to. Would
yeah,
be great hockey, but I don't think I want to see Cooper Black for 4 straight games. So I am
no,
opposed to it.
not at all. And those jerseys that they had that night, I have to call that out. They wore those USA jerseys. I really like those jerseys. They look cool. But
They did look cool, but there's so many jokes on the internet about the jerseys and the abbreviations. So we'll leave it at that.
no idea.
Yeah, well, again, we'll leave it at that. Back to the rest of the game, though. I mean, you look at the goal scorers in this one from Grand Rapids. Doucette kicked off the action. He was on the second line in this game with Trailmax departing to Italy for this game. We thought he was playing both and departing Sunday, but nope, he departed Saturday morning. So Deuce gets moved up in the lineup. And God, what an incredible sequence between Amadeus Lombardi, MBN with this kind of no-look drop pass that didn't have much on it, but it was enough to get to Doucette, and Doucette buries it. You love to see a guy that's struggled this season, when he's given an opportunity, capitalize on it. And that's exactly what Doucette did in this. A fun line there when you look at Doucette, Ammo, and MBN. That's a different look that we haven't seen this season. But we know Ammo and Deuce have great chemistry. When they've been on lines together, it's worked out really well. Just really thankful to see Deuce convert and find the back of the net, though, because you want the kid scoring. A kid that could score the way he did in junior, not being able to like do it in the AHL because he did it in the ECHL. You just want to see him keep finding the back of the net.
Yeah, after the first game against Charlotte this week, I literally put a question mark next to him. Like, where is he? What are we doing? Because we went 11-7 that game. And then we turned around and we went full lineup in this one. And it's good to see him back on the score sheet. Bob said he scored back-to-back games. And I was like, well, technically, yes, because he's been a healthy scratch for a couple. But to see him get back up there, right, you want to see that success. I love to see the Ammo MBN line. MBN gets promoted back up to the top 6. So love to see that bounce back. And I'm hoping to see it kind of continue. Like maybe we keep that Deuce, Ammo, and MBN line together. You got one guy that's a bowling ball that's going to clear space. You get Ammo and Deuce, the playmakers that can kind of feed off each other. And maybe we see that kind of as our second line moving forward for a bit.
I mean, I'm not opposed to it because, like you said, you got the bowling ball of MBN out there. Deuce can win any battle in the corner that he goes into. Like, he's got the skill, he's got the grit to go win those tough battles in the corner. And Ammo, I mean, Ammo's Ammo, right? He just does incredible things out there. And I was really happy with that line overall in this game, besides one turnover, but we'll talk about that in a second there. You know, that was good to see Deuce kick it off, though. Charlotte does respond and tie it. Robert Mastrosimone, as Red Wings fans know that name, he ties the game, but the Griffins end up coming out of the first period with the lead as Andre Becker, his second goal of the week. And again, another pretty play, a great pass from Shai Bulliam. I can't get over this pass. It looks so simple, but God, it was so well executed to set up Becker for this goal right on the doorstep. And again, we talked about Becker already. We won't, drain the ocean on this one here, but at the same time, Beck's getting 2 goals this week is huge.
Huge. I love this goal. If you were sleeping, you missed it. I definitely forgot about this goal. I'm like in the second, I'm like, how are we up 2-1? Like, what happened here?
Becker gave us the lead, and I think that was the thing we needed to get into. If we would have gone in the second period tied, this game looks probably different.
Yes, and the big thing too that I've been kind of keeping an eye on is that we are not good in the last 2 minutes of the period or the 2 minutes of the start of the period is where we give up a lot of goals. And so for us to be able to turn that this time and we were able to capitalize, that gives us the momentum, that gives us the energy to go into the next period up 2-1, right? We already scored, I think Bob said 25-0 when we scored the first goal. So it was already looking good, but to get that second one, we needed it.
We just talk about how insane that stat is. 25-0 when you score first. I know we talked on last week's episode about the Wolves stat when they scored first. It was 22-0, 1-1 or something like that. 25-0 straight up when you score first. And obviously with this game, they made it 26-0, right? That's insane. You go into the second period, and after that first period, it was kind of even match. We got the lead. Shots were 8-8. And this is why I said the game would look different if we didn't come out with that lead, because Charlotte outshot Grand Rapids 15-6 in the second period. They did score once, but before that goal, Antti Tuomisto with a blast from the blue line on the power play. Shai Bulliam and Austin Watson assisting on that too. So back-to-back assists for both those guys on back-to-back goals. And we learned that they call Tuomisto's shot the Tui Torpedo.
I was waiting to see if you're going to put it in the episode or not.
Oh, I had to.
Yeah.
The Tui torpedo. Thanks, Bob, for sharing that one. I laughed. It wasn't really a torpedo of a shot. It was a good shot. He put it where he wanted to extend the lead there. We got to talk about this Charlotte goal, though. Reese Gabber all over Amadeus Lombardi right in front of the Griffins net. And it felt like in one foul swoop, picks Amadeus Lombardi's pocket and puts it past Sebastian Cossa all in one motion. Look, you're gutted because you're like, Ammo is blaming himself on that entirely. It is a brutal turnover right in front of your goalie. You don't want that to happen. That was a hell of a play by Gabber. Hell of a play. You can't be that mad at it. Yes, you're mad. It's a brutal turnover, but dude, what a play.
Yeah, I think this is just one where it's like Ammo is just not big enough to not, he doesn't have that body to keep the guy off of him, right? And he just kind of sneaks in and gets it. And what can you do in that situation? Maybe not play it towards center of the ice. So maybe it's more of, that route for that.
Yeah, and it sucks too, because like there's been some plays this week, I think of the Milwaukee game specifically, where Ammo had guys draped all over him and he was keeping them off of him, keeping possession of the puck. So like you saw flashes of that good side this week. And I remember I was hyping up one of those plays and I was like, oh, it was Jordan Osterley all over him. Maybe I shouldn't hype it up that much. At the same time, it was a good play, but it does suck to see that result. Look, this game is close the rest of the way here. And like we said, the score sheet does not reflect this game because the next two goals from Grand Rapids were empty net goals. Nate Danielson had one, which a little bit of chaos after that goal. He gets swiped at after that happens, and Austin Watson and Rakowski were not happy with it. There was some words and some pushing and shoving exchanged after that as the team skated back to the benches. All of a sudden, you see Austin Watson skating towards the door as he got a 10-minute misconduct. But as we said in the night before, chill, buddy. If the misconduct was him running his mouth about that slash not getting called, I'll support it. He's standing up for his guy. He's standing up for Nate, protecting his boy. There's times where it's right and there's times where it's wrong. And this was one of those times it was right. And at that point, you have a 4-2 lead. You're like, whatever. He does it in comedic fashion, though, as he skates off the ice, gives a big salute to the crowd and makes sure he waves on his way out. No middle fingers. So that's good to see. So nothing else will come from that. But it was pretty funny to see that wave. It's a great little clip that we could use for the rest of the season as we wave off other teams. Thank you for that, Waddy. But that wasn't the only other goal. Sheldon Dries adds another empty net goal. And Charlotte continued to try to claw back into this by pulling the goalie twice. And you get a 5-2 win. You split the season series with Charlotte, and you tie for the second best start through 45 games in AHL history with this result. This team continues to put their name in the AHL record books, which is just insane to think of how many records we've tied or broken all season long. And they do it again this week, and they head into the All-Star break with the record that we mentioned at the beginning of the show.
It's crazy, like the streak, the history that they are that they're rewriting, right? And then you look and it's like Providence is still right behind you in the league. Like it's just like Detroit and the Atlantic, like they're right there. You might have to find a meme with putting Providence right behind us.
They're 2 points behind us right now, which is insane to think about. They're an incredible season. They're on a 10-game winning streak right now.
Just absolutely nuts. And I'm hoping this All-Star break is going to be a good reset for us, kind of like give the guys some time off, some time away, and to be able to reset. Because I know like this has been tough. They practice tough. They play, 9% of the games that they've played so far. If they've had the energy, they've had the intensity. I'm going to probably throw 2 games out where they just came out kind of flat. But I'm hoping that we're going to this break, they get some much needed rest, and then we could start these crazy run for the Calder.
Yeah, I mean, it's exciting to look at. And when you look at the rest of the league too and see like, we have that winning percentage of .811, Providence .807, Wilkes-Barre .708. Like those are your 3 top dogs in this league. And we've mentioned it before, just credit to the Pittsburgh organization. Like all 3 teams are just kind of rolling. And I know you might have seen this, Nick, but Wilkes-Barre had a guy get called up to the NHL this week and scored in his first shot, Avery Hayes. He scores his first shot, which is incredible. You love to see stories like that. Obviously, the NHL goes in the Olympic break, so he gets assigned back to Wilkes-Barre. What does he do in that first game? Hat trick.
Of course. Guys on cloud 9, right?
Yeah, it's one of those guys that you're just like, holy smokes. Now he's got 26 points this season, 16 goals all of a sudden, and you're like, okay, Wilkes-Barre's rolling, Providence is rolling. Who's going to come out of the East and face us? Because I'm saying we're going all the way, right? That's what we're going to be saying. This team's going to go all the way. It's going to be a fight at the end, no matter who we're going up against. So it's going to get insane. But before we jump into talking more standings in the rest of the AHL, we got to give our 3 stars of the week here. I did not put these in the note. I did not put it together. I love the surprise Nick with this. Look, I'm going to give one of the stars away right away here, and it's going to go to Andre Becker, 3rd star this week. 2 goals this week. I thought he's just continued to play fantastic. Really excited with his play. He's my 3rd star of the week. 2nd star of the week, I'm giving it to Michael Postava for his performance in that 3-0 shutout. I think he deserves it. I'm sorry.
The
Fans are going to be like, what?
Shutout.
Yeah. Fans are going to be like, what? They lost it. Dude, he's been outstanding. I think he played fantastic in this one. It's not his fault they didn't get any goal support. I think he deserves that 2nd star of the week. And I think you know where I'm going with the 1st star.
I want to touch on Postava. I think he does deserve the flowers. What he said that they had 12 odd man rushes the night before. So, I mean, the goalie literally stood on his head. It kept them in this. So good for Posty. Yeah, I'll give him the 2nd. I'm good with the 3rd for Becker. Interested to see who your 1st one is.
Sebastian Cossa. Between the Milwaukee game and this Charlotte game, insane numbers this week from him, an insane bounce back. Like, I'm taking it in the account of the numbers, but also the bounce back. Your previous game before these 2, you let in 5 on 18, and you came out and put on a show this week before the All-Star game, where we know you're going to put on a show again. Yeah, 1st star, dude. I can't be more happy with his performance than I am this week. I'm blown away by the response from that rough Chicago game. It just shows the mental toughness that he's developed to come out here and perform consistently. And that was the biggest downfall of him last season, was that consistent performance. When we were talking Sebastian Cossa in February last season, it wasn't this. He'd have a bad game and then he'd have another bad game and he might have another bad game. It was just like, what's going on with him? He's had rough games here and there, but the response every time has just been absolutely unreal. And when you get shelled with 40 shots Saturday after your team got shut out the night before and you're able to stand your ground and make some of the saves you made, yeah, you get 1st star. So 1st, 2nd star to the goalies this week. We could have combined it in a 1 star, sure, but no. They each individually get some flowers this week as we head into the break. Honorable mention be Shai Buyam. He did have 3 points this week. He had 3 assists. So he had a great week. I love the response also from being a healthy scratch on that Saturday game in Chicago. You come out this week, have 3 points. You play a strong defensive game. That's how you should respond from being health bombed in a game.
Yeah, I did want to give some flowers to Shai because he did have a good bounce back week. I had some question marks around him on the 2nd game this week as well. And, he turns around. It's funny when I start circling guys in my notebook and it's then they turn around and put up some points the next game. So
next time circle the whole team. No.
Yeah, I might have to. So good on him, and yeah, good on Shai getting some points. It's a real bounce back. I know he's coming into the season like from the injury, so he missed a good chunk, and so to get out there, get up some points, and just kind of bounce back.
Yeah, and when you look at the big picture overall, when you've seen this, we saw the team's first 3-game losing streak this season. They bounced back and won a couple of games, and they went right back into another 3-game losing streak. This time they come out of that 3-game losing streak, they win 2, lose 1, and win the next one. Like, you didn't fall right back into that same hole of, all right, we're starting another losing streak, and you're going into the All-Star break with a big win. Best record in the league. Like, that's the way you want to go into All-Star. It's definitely a different pace than we were talking about the All-Star break last season. So overall, as you get to this midway point of the season, it's beautiful. The Griffins have been unreal. Yes, they've had their slip-ups, they've had their moments, but the resilience and the bounce back and the leadership on this team has just been outstanding. And it's just that reminder to Red Wings fans that this team doesn't stop playing when the Olympics start. They have this break this week. The All-Star break is only really Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. They're right back in action on Friday. 6 of those games they're playing, 5 of them are at home during the break. So if you're missing some Red Wings action, hop in the car, make the 2.5, 3-hour trip, come watch the Griffins play, and hopefully we see some better results at home. I think when you look at this upcoming homestand, you're like, this is where you've got to lock it in at home, because you can't go drop 3 or 4 of these games. You can't. You've got to figure out home ice. And I'm sure a break like this for most of the guys, obviously the guys are going to the All-Star game too, and they won't get the break. But I think some guys are really going to enjoy this break and come back ready to go. We saw what 1 day off does for this team. Can you imagine getting 4 in there? Like, it's going to be really nice.
Yeah, it's You're like, everybody come out. We got some home games. And I'm like, well, maybe don't. Uh,
No, come out. Be loud, though.
yeah.
Don't come out and be quiet until a fight happens. Be loud, fans. Come on. Make this place tough to play in.
But I think you're right though. Is what you said is you get 4 days off and then you turn around and you're right back in it. It's crazy to see how many home games in a row that we've got. I guess I didn't really realize how many away we've actually bet on. And it came at a good timing for me too, so I'll be at most of those games as well with you,
Thank
buddy.
God.
So yeah, maybe it was just the power of us both being there. Is because I feel like every time I was there by
It's the
myself,
power of friendship.
yeah, that they lost. And then if they played, if it was just Elaine, I think they lost. Let's, hopefully with the two of us, we can bring them back and get some fans out there. I mean, the Griffins have had some big crowds as of late. And
I just want those crowds to be louder.
yeah, they do need to be louder. I will say that they do need to be louder.
We need to make Vandal tough to play. You need to be loud. You need to be proud. You need to make that one of the toughest barns in the league to play in, because when the van is rocking, that place is louder than anywhere I've ever been in, but we need it to be loud. Don't just wait for a fight to happen or a bad call to get on the ref's side and start yelling at them, and then you're finally bought into the game. No, from intros to final buzzer, be loud. Let's have some fun. Let's make this place literally the toughest arena to play in, because we know what it can be like in the playoffs. There's no reason it can't be like that in the regular season. So let's get on it. Let's have some fun. I'm excited for this stretch without the Red Wings in action to really just have some eyes on the Griffins. I know a lot of eyes will be on the Olympics, obviously. We'll be watching closely, too, with the Wings players that are in that. And, of course, Eddie Trailmax being in Latvia. I already posted on our page that this is a Latvia fan page from now on until further notice. So we'll be posting updates, except for when those games happen at like 4 or 5 in the morning. You'll get the updates when we wake up, because
You'll be awake.
Oh, shut up. Maybe. Anyways, moving on to a standings update around the AHL. We'll start in the Central Division as we usually do. Obviously, the Griffins at the top of that at 73 points. The next closest team being the Chicago Wolves at 54 points. God, the separation in this division is insane. You go to Texas in third place. Texas has climbed to third place, y'all. We have talked so negatively about the Texas Stars all season. We saw them come into Grand Rapids last time, take 2 games and win, and ever since then, they've been on a streak. They are on a 7-game winning streak right now. And ironically, unless the results change for the Idaho Steelheads in the ECHL, all Dallas teams were on a winning streak. The Stars were on a winning streak, Texas Stars were on a winning streak, and the Idaho Steelheads, and they were all a 7-game winning streak. That's insane. You go behind Texas there, Manitoba in the 4th spot, Milwaukee in the last playoff spot as it stands now, Rockford behind them. Iowa won a game. They now have 13 wins on the season. They're still in last place, though. 7 points behind the Ice Hogs. You go to the Pacific Division, Ontario leading that division again. They've overtaken the Colorado Eagles, who are in second. Bakersfield in third. Bottom of that division, Abbotsford, who has not won just 12 games. They've won 16 games all of a sudden. They're 4-6 in their past 10. A little hot streak there for them. You go to the North Division, Laval still leading that division. I'm pretty sure they've been leading that division all season, just like the Griffins have. Syracuse and Toronto make up the top 3, with Utica at their 13th win as well in last place. So no more 12-win teams. After I discussed on the Toledo show, there was a lot of 12-win teams in the bottom. They all have 13 at least now. You go to the top of the Atlantic Division, in Providence, as we mentioned, just on an absolute roll. 10 games in a row that they've won. You go to Wilkes-Barre in second. They've won 5 straight. The top of that division is just insane. Charlotte in third. They've obviously lost 1 game recently. They're 6-3-1 in their past 10. Hartford in the bottom of that division there with 16 wins, tied with Springfield at 38 points actually there. So that's your update around the league. As we get closer and closer to the playoffs, we'll start breaking down what the playoff picture looks like. We're not there just yet. And obviously the upcoming schedule this week, we mentioned the Griffins are back home on Friday. They are off until then. You got the Texas Stars coming to town Friday and Sunday. They have a Saturday off, which is nice there too. But you got the All-Star game this week. What are you expecting, Nick? We're going to be there. We've announced it a couple of times. We're super excited for this opportunity to be media at the All-Star game, not just to cover our Griffins players, but to be able to cover the league in this incredible event that they put on. I'm excited. I know you're excited, but what are you most excited about?
Most excited about spending time with you, buddy. It's
Oh
been a
my
while.
God.
I'm excited just to go to another barn. Like at Rockford, like everybody's dogs on them, but I've never been there. So you cross that one off the list, right? Been to to be into an All-Star game. Like I've never been to an All-Star game. So I remember when we first started covering this, you were telling me about this because we watched the first one. I think we watched the first one together. That year we started covering the league, and so they take the ice or the boards down throughout. So it's kind of fun to watch it on that side. So I'm excited
The
to kind of
glass down,
see
not the
the
boards.
glass. Yeah,
during the skills competition, yes.
They take the glass down. So be able to see that, and then being in Rockford in that bar just to see how it operates and what it looks like. I don't know. I just really like going to other hockey like arenas and seeing what they do and how they do things differently. To see like, okay, what could Grand Rapids do for could they take anything from that one and put it in ours? I don't know. I know one of our followers is going to be there. Mark, he reached out. He said he was going to be there this weekend, so it'd be cool to see him. Yeah, I don't know. I just like the pre stuff. I'm stressing on, but the game itself will be fun, I think. And yeah, just first All-Star game.
Yeah, I'm excited to obviously experience the Rockford Arena and all that stuff. The first arena that we'll ever be in that has the LED boards around the rink. I don't know if you've seen that. They did an upgrade this season, so the boards are a screen all the way around. So that'll be interesting to see how they can use that and kind of see what that looks like. I know Utica has them, and it was like the first generation of them, and they're pretty ugly, but I've been told the Rockford ones are the updated ones that actually look really nice. I haven't watched a game in Rockford with those on yet to see if it distracts me or if I'm going to hate it. So I'm excited to see what that looks like in person. Excited to see the arena. Excited to meet all the media people from around the league that are coming in too, because there's so many people that we utilize for our talking points on stuff when they post articles about maybe teams that we play against, or when they eventually post articles about the Griffins, like Patrick Williams. I'm excited to meet him. Tony Andrakis, I think is how you say his last name. I read a lot of his stuff when you're talking about Wilkes-Barre, and when he was writing about Providence when they play each other. He's kind of been instrumental in my talking points for looking at those teams since they're kind of the top dogs in the East. So I'm just excited to meet everybody and excited to see what the content time with the players is going to look like. We go to practice and do interviews. It's so much more relaxed. You get those post-game interviews. It's right after a game. They're still in game mode. It's all business there. This is going to be fun to hopefully just show these guys' personalities and have fun with it. I know we're going to try to talk to guys from all across the league. And I did ask for permission on some goalie content with the goalies in the Central Division too. That sounds like we're approved for. So get some time with Sebastian Cossa and Thomas Milic together. Have them compare their games and what they like from each other's games and just the battles that they've had together this season. I think that'll be fun. It's just where I wish we could have been at the last All-Star game where you're talking Cossa, Wallstead, Askarov, like those top dogs there. That would have been a really fun one. But Thomas Milic is an incredible goaltender as well, who kind of had the same path as Cossa. Started in the coast, working his way up. Like it's gonna be fun to chat with them. So there's a lot of exciting stuff that we plan on bringing you guys. We'll do off the wall stupid stuff on our own time too. I'm sure that we'll
Stupid
share
stuff?
with you guys and have. Oh yeah, we'll have fun. I'm just wondering if how much convincing is it going to take Nick to go to like an after party at the casino? Like that's
Really
that's
not.
what I'm
I
going to
don't
have to
to
work
drive.
on.
Yeah, I don't have to drive.
Yeah, none of us do. It'll be great. So I'm
That'd be
excited, looking forward to it. And as we said at the beginning of the episode, stay tuned for content, following us on all the social pages at Hockeytown WPod, and make sure you're subscribed to YouTube and following the podcast wherever you get your podcasts, because we'll have stuff posted all week long and for the weeks after it too. I'm just really glad I don't have to turn around and go to Florida now and try to post that stuff on a plane and while I'm trying to enjoy time with my sister down there. So really glad that schedule's loosened up a little bit and we'll get to enjoy it. But other than that, man, I have no other updates or news around the league for this week. I don't think you've got anything either. So we're going to wrap this thing up. Thank you all for tuning in to another Griffins update. Before we go, we got to thank our sponsors of the show, DraftKings and Everything Hockey Clothing Company. When you're betting with DraftKings, use code THPN. And when you're shopping at everythinghockey.com, use code WEST to save a few bucks off your order. And of course, we got to thank our Patreon subscribers as well. Those lovely folks over there at patreon.com/HockeytownWest podcast, who will probably get a ton of bonus content throughout the All-Star week here, because that's going to be the easiest place to post some unedited fun stuff that we do while we're there. So Nick, who are those lovely folks that are following us over there already?
We've got Michael Asante, Alan Foch, Lori Foch, Derek Sleezer, Griffin Not from GR, Elaine Grace, John in Florida, Tyler Ingalls, Darren Swartz, Zach, Peter Grell, Joe Schroeder, and D-Boss is D-Boss.
Thank you all for the love and support. We appreciate it so much. All right, that's it. We're off to Rockford. Everybody have a fantastic week. And as always, go Griffins, go Walleye.
Go Seahawks. Love you. Bye.
Thank you for tuning in to the Hockeytown West podcast. Be sure to check us out on Twitter at HockeytownWPod and your hosts, Nick at GR Hockey Guy, Brandon at Brandon GR Hockey, and Travis at Trav in T-Town.